with all the bamboo. There's obviously no health regulations or health and safety regulations. In the tourism hospitality market, to a luxury segment, building on onto a hotel zoning area.
Yep.
Take me through what we would expect in a Western world that translates here.
Yeah, so actually, to deliver a project like we're delivering, is no different than any other country, to be honest.
Right.
And there's a long list of regulations that we need to comply with, whether it's architectural, zoning, height limits. You see in Bali that there's no super high rises, for example. There's good reason for that. So there's height limits that we need to adhere to, there's setbacks, there's site coverage areas, and so we have to go through that whole
boleh lebih tinggi dari pohon kelapa bangunan di Bali itu. Makanya paling banyak 4 lantai.
And it's just like other countries, you've got to submit all this documentation, right? And it's all different phases. Architectural drawings, mechanical, electrical, plumbing drawings, fire life safety drawings, structural drawings. I mean, compared to Australia, Bali's in a seismic zone, right? New Zealand is, of course, similar, but Bali is quite a high seismic zone, so we're having to bring in top-notch structural engineers to support that and make sure that we're building for situations where there are shakes often. And so we're bringing in the right team. We're going to do soil tests. We're quite close to the ocean. Flooding is quite popular here, so we need to make sure that we're doing some flood surveys and make sure that we're designing, getting our levels right and make sure that we're mitigating against risk of flooding, for example. So all of these things contribute.
So in my day-to-day, I deal with investors face-to-face, and obviously they're either pre-investment or post-investment. All of their questions and concerns, it's like anybody else's. Is it going to be built? When's it going to be built? How's it going to be built? And who's going to be building it? But really what we want to discuss right now is this de-risking of a submission to make sure it's successful, which is your forte, the reason why you're here.
Part of it,
You're part of it. Why are you here today? Like the submission of a building permit application isn't just a one-pager and just go, here's the drawings of the land, here's the drawings of the ownership, here's what we kind of want, so give and take. That's not really where we're going. You've got a team, you've got teams
sales manager
of many consultants under not just environmental but structural, architectural, MEP, like we were saying as well. So some of the people that you've brought into this fold are award winners. Which you expect, right? Because we're doing something that should be an award-winning project and also delivered for longevity.
Absolutely.
Big priority.
Exactly. And we're building in quite a challenging climate as well, right? And so right by the sea, we're in a tropical climate. So it's getting the systems right, but it's also using the right materials as well. Right? So back to your question around the submission process, like I touched on before. You're right. We've brought in some great consultants, starting with Inspiral Architects, who
amazing.
I mean, Charlie and the team have been here a long time. They love their very organic forms, and yes, we're using some bamboo, but it's not all bamboo. There's a structural concrete system in behind of that.
Absolutely. I make that very clear to my clients these days, that they see something that looks
pakai bambu bahannya. Hotelnya tadi dibangun dengan bahan utama bambu.
And design-wise, we're going to win awards.
Walaupun ada bangunan temboknya juga.
Break some molds. Right. Break some molds. There's not only is it culturally appropriate the way that they're building, but essentially the bones of it are concrete and steel. And then we have what we call an exoskeleton. I call it the exoskeleton. And those materials are sustainable products, but also very, very hard wearing, as I understand. Take me more into the materials and how they are. What is your process for choosing the materials and maybe flicking some,
Yeah.
or telling people that doesn't really meet the standards we're after. Remember what we're trying to do
Yeah,
for people.
yeah.
I'm sure they're all professional, but give me a bit more insight into your.
Yeah, so from in terms of an architecture, you're right. It's a steel roof, and then the very organic forms is made up of various elements, right? And so there's insulation layers, and then there's a bitumen type roof on there, and to help create the form and things. But of course, insulation is a key component because we're in a very high, humid and quite temperate climate.
Yeah.
We need to consider those things, and then we want to be from an AC point of view as well. If you're in the room, you don't want all the cold air disappearing as well outside, and we want to be efficient in our system design as well. So I think selecting materials, they need to withstand the harsh weather conditions.
Yeah.
And whether it's salt spray coming off the sea, or the sun, or the rain, and the wind, and the humidity is a big challenge here in Bali. Mold and all of these sort of things. So it's bringing the right materials, and a lot of those materials are actually natural materials, like bamboo or timbers or teak wood, or because they've lived naturally in the environment for donkey's years, right? And so why not use those materials? We know stone materials,
Composite materials as well.
composite. Yeah, we are using composite materials because we've got to use our smarts sometimes, and
for the elements as well, right?
correct, but even improving them, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, the interior design now, we're looking at sort of countertops that are lava stone, that's got a coating on it so it can stand heat. It can stand, quite high impact. So these things really help us from a longevity point of view, and we don't want to be replacing them in 5 years' time, right?
That's right.
And then
We see that a lot in Bali.
Yeah.
We see that a lot with deterioration.
Yeah.
Even if it's well maintained, if you're building for profitability, efficiency, fine. Sustainability, absolutely. But profitability means that you've got to choose the right materials to last you through. Otherwise, it can be a very, very tough cost to swallow down the track.
Yeah, correct. And so, I mean, the key thing I sort of message to the design team is floors, walls, and ceilings. We need to get those right in the first place, because we're not going to be replacing those in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
But whereas furniture, like soft furniture, FF&E we call it, they have a little bit more regular replacement cycle, right? But they are pretty easy to change.
Yeah.
And those soft things, that really support that guest experience I was talking about earlier, right? Nothing worse than seeing a mouldy cushion, for example.
Yeah.
So that's easy to replace. But having said that, we choose